And without further ado, I would like to welcome our newest board member to San Francisco Veg Society, Miss Erika Hazel, aka the Bizerkeley Vegan. Yay!
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here tonight.
I am really looking forward to this, and testing out new media is always a little bit of a challenge for me. So if I mess up in any way, I'm sorry. But we'll get through this together, I'm sure. And I'm really looking forward to this because you have been doing so many interesting and exciting things lately. And I love how you have kind of just been able to redirect not only the events that you've been working on, but also the activism that you've been doing in light of COVID-19 and how to do it safely and really effectively. So I'm very excited to talk to everybody about that tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
First of all, let's talk about the Bizerkeley Food Festival, because that is happening right now. It just started a couple days ago, and I'm sure our audience is interested in knowing what it is exactly, how they can participate, all that good stuff.
Yes, definitely. So I had my materials ready. One of our participants tonight made this amazing flyer. It's Vegan Yo, Miss Sonia. So the Bizerkeley Food Fest is a COVID-friendly way for us to support restaurants here in the Bay Area, as well as food vendors. We've been going through this wave of people losing their jobs, businesses closing. And so the Bizerkeley Food Fest is targeted to folks who are doing an amazing job serving all these amazing vegan options here in the Bay Area. And for folks who participate, this is our bingo sheet. And so all these different vendors are listed here, or taking a picture of yourself on social media. There's different ways to participate. And so the goal is to, let's say, for example, you go to Sabelle's Front Room and you get a mac and cheese, a vegan mac and cheese calzone with some Oreo beignets. You go, you order your food, and you tell them, hi, I'm participating in the Bizerkeley Food Fest. They're like, great. They will give you a bingo sheet and a sticker so that you can put it on here. And then maybe you're going to go around the corner from Sabelle's and hit up Easy Breezy for their vegan froyo options. The line was out the door during the heat wave. It was really awesome. And so you're just going to keep playing. And once you're done getting 4 in a row, it's not even 5 in a row, it's 4 in a row for our bingo, you just take a picture of it, you email it to us, to our committee, and we will enter you into the raffle. And we have so many amazing prizes. We have gift cards to Black-owned vegan businesses, cookbooks, and more. It's really exciting. I'm really happy that it's come to fruition.
This is such an exciting event and such a great way to support local businesses who are able to remain open during this pandemic and show them some love.
Yes, that's the best part about it. A lot of the vendors are good friends of mine who I've made by eating their food and connecting with them. And so whether it's vegan tacos on Lake Merritt, or you're getting the vegan hood chefs to deliver a fried vegan fish sandwich, very reminiscent of the McDonald's fish sandwich. Like, there's so many different options and ways to support. And the women-owned businesses like Deliciously Vegan SF, Miss Hillary makes the most amazing cupcakes. I swear they just melt in your mouth. So it's like you're supporting all these businesses and also being entered to win prizes. I think it's the best of both worlds.
Oh, definitely. And I'm getting hungry already just thinking about all of those amazing food options. Exactly. I probably should have eaten dinner before we had our interview, because now I'm just like, oh my gosh, that sounds so good right now. All of that sounds so good. So where do people go to get the bingo cards if they want to participate?
Excellent question. So this full page bingo card is available on my website, thebizerkeleyvegan.com/foodfest. And so it has the FAQs, the bingo sheets, the list of vendors as well. And all the brick and mortar restaurants have half-size bingo sheets that will fit in your wallet or in your back pocket, available at their restaurants. So Sabelle's Front Room, Easy Breezy, Tacos El Ultimo Baile. Who else has them? Oh, the Veg Hub in Oakland, Chef Chu's restaurant in Oakland, and Vegan Alien, who does vegan Mexican food pop-ups. They have bingo cards as well.
Oh, excellent. So there's a lot of different opportunities for people to participate.
Yes, absolutely. We wanted to make this as easy as possible for customers as well as the vendors and keep everything easy breezy. So yeah, that was the motivation.
And what inspired you to create this event?
Yes, that's a great question. So I have traveled to New Jersey, Southern California, Portland, Oregon. I've traveled to vegan food festivals all over the country. And for me, it was like, I get so much joy out of communing with other vegans, with meeting people who are like, I'm not vegan. Do you think this place is good? Yes, this place is amazing. I get such a, like a runner's high from going to food festivals. And so around 2019, around Thanksgiving, Christmas, I thought like, I can do it. I can put on my own food festival. And so I was working with a local organization to use their space free of charge to have an in-person festival that was supposed to happen around Memorial Day weekend here in the Bay Area in May. But as we all know, COVID hit our area in March. And so after, waiting to see like, okay, are they going to lift the restrictions? Because, it went from 200 people gatherings to 100 to 10 people gatherings. I decided, okay, we'll just get rid of it. I won't even do it. And so I came up with the idea for bingo because I'm a school counselor by day. I work with 4-year-olds to 14-year-olds. And one of my icebreaker activities is bingo. And I also do it at my Valentine's Day event that I host at Sabelle's Front Room every year. And I just love bingo. I don't know what it is about that game, but I love it. And so I was like, wait, people can play bingo with vendors who are vending right now. My greatest fear is that the vegan hood chefs or vegan aliens, Sabelle's Front Room would go out of business. Like that would be devastating to the Bay Area vegan community. And so after talking, because I was still patroning these vendors throughout the pandemic, I was like, wait, there's a way for me to introduce a whole new set of customers to you all and also have people feel like we're communing together in a sort of socially distanced way. So that was the inspiration for the event.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And it's building community in a way that's a little bit difficult to build community right now in the middle of the pandemic. And um, pandemic notwithstanding, why do you think the vegan food scene is exploding right now?
The vegan food scene, when we look at the statistics, like, vegan food has surged, 100%, 200%, or whatever the statistics are, I think that many folks are realizing that it doesn't taste like grass, that it is flavorful and delicious and healthy, and that you can have the best of both worlds. You can have a vegan bacon cheeseburger and not harm a cow or a pig. And so my family personally has become flexitarians. Like my family they drive past, fast food restaurants now and, opt to make something vegan. My mom now does meatless Mondays and tofu Tuesdays. So I think just having that exposure to vegan options, like good, tasty vegan options, is really making this shift, as well as all these, mainstream companies like Burger King, carrying Impossible Foods. Like the more versatile and available it is, I think that's what's going to keep people coming back.
I agree. And we are at the precipice. I really feel like we're at a turning point when we're seeing so many plant-based options in places that you wouldn't expect. The wide variety of vegan options at your standard grocery store now is amazing. When,
Huge.
it's even compared to just like 5 years ago, even compared, I mean, especially compared to say 10 years ago, but it's truly empowering to see how mainstream vegan options have become. And it's such a great time to get people excited about changing their lifestyles, because I think a lot of people have been doing a lot of self-exploration in this time of isolation. So something like this is a great example to get people excited about eating vegan food, trying vegan options in their neighborhoods. It's just a brilliant idea. I love it so much.
Thank you. Yes, I really hope that a lot of non-vegans do participate and really try what's out there. I like to say that these are all omnivore, carnivore approved places where no matter what your lifestyle or diet is, you would absolutely love the food there.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And so why don't we kind of go back in time a little bit? I would love to know what sent you on your vegan journey.
Yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster of a journey. I started junior year of college down in Southern California at UC Irvine. I was walking around campus and someone passed me a flyer, and it was, I think a sect of like PETA, and it was like, do you want to help save animals? I was like, yes, I want to help save animals. I was recently like vice president of the Society for Pre-Veterinary Students because I thought I wanted to be a wildlife rehabilitation veterinarian. So that was like one of my initial feelings when I went into college. And so I read the pamphlet. It talked about factory farming and all the ways that animals are harmed and just all the different things that have animal products that you wouldn't even know, like all the secret things that have gelatin or, you know, other animal ingredients. And I was like, this is insane. So I started out being a vegetarian. Oh no, I started out being pescatarian. Then I did sort of vegetarian. My family at the time, I like to affectionately refer to them as velociraptors. They were very voracious meat eaters. And so I moved back home for the summer, fell off the wagon, so to say. And then once I got my own apartment and started living on my own in Berkeley and was exposed to all the vegan options there are in the East Bay compared to my hometown of Vallejo, that's when I really dabbled. And so my first step was turning my home vegan. And then I was like, okay, now I have to figure out what I'm going to eat, you know, when I'm out and about. And so it was kind of just a step-by-step process. And the straw that broke well, no, we're not breaking camels' backs. It's so funny when you say like these phrases, like that is not a vegan friendly phrase. The final
Nice
straw,
correction.
right? The final straw was me watching Vegucated on Netflix, and it was like a social experiment where 5 people who eat meat practice being vegan, and I was like, whoa, if they can do it, I can do it. And so I got rid of everything in my apartment that wasn't vegan, and I was just like, I'm doing it, and I've been vegan ever since October 2016, so I haven't gone back, not once.
That is so inspiring. And I think it's so important to let people know that it's very rare that people just go vegan, just boom. They just decide one day, I'm going to be vegan and that's it. And they're just instantly, you know, the most vegan of all vegans on earth. It is a step-by-step process. And I think it's really important to allow yourself the time to get to that 100% vegan lifestyle. And, you know, perfection is really not the goal. It's doing everything that you can to reduce suffering and to live a healthy life and to make the world a better place, not just for yourself, your family, your fellow humans, but also for animals in the environment.
100% agree. Yeah, it's such a beautiful thing, and I think if folks can stick with it and gradually progress to working their way up to 100%, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
I totally agree. And there's so many great options for people right now. For example, I find a lot of inspiration on Instagram, following accounts like yours and a lot of other local vegan superstars. George Lynn has a really wonderful Instagram account that's the vegan struggle is real. Some of the most
Yes.
beautiful vegan food I've ever seen in my life. So for folks who are not quite vegan yet, but who are at the beginning stages of their vegan journey, I would definitely strongly encourage them to get onto the vegan Instagram accounts for some inspiration. And also, they can find inspiration on our website at sfvs.org. There are a great deal of options out there locally as showcased in the Bizerkeley Food Festival. So if you're curious of what's out there to try, now is a great time to do it. I mean, participate in the Bizerkeley Food Festival, get your feet wet, see what great options are out there in our local community, and support vegan businesses at the same time, vegan and veg-friendly businesses. I love that you didn't just limit it to only vegan businesses. I think it's really important to celebrate the vegan options in the other places as well.
Yes, I think part of me felt that was so important because my hometown of Vallejo doesn't have too many vegan only places. And so vegan options for us, a lot of time when we're, on road trips or going to a new city, that's all we have. We are the champions of making full meals out of the sides, the side menu. And so for me, like being able to go to, Tacos El Último Baile and get, 4 vegan nopales tacos at 9:00 at night. There's nothing, or at midnight. That's like the most amazing thing for me to get, like, eat like everyone else is eating at the same place and know that I'm not going to have cross-contamination, and know that the owner, the person cooking my food, knows what veganism is and, won't use the same spatula used to handle non-vegan food items as my vegan food items. It's just amazing.
It really is. I love that too, because if you are with folks who are not on even the first step of their vegan journey yet, it's important for new vegans and people who are just kind of trying it out to be able to dine with their friends and families. So having vegan options in these not entirely vegan restaurants is really helpful for everyone. Of course, we love and support the 100% vegan businesses, of course, but we also have a lot of love and respect for the other businesses who include vegan options on their menus. And if you do join SFVS as a member, a lot of these vegan and veg-friendly businesses offer discounts. You can see a list of that on our website at sfvs.org, and that's also where you can sign up for memberships. And just wanted to put a little plug in there. We will be updating the website and the local vegan and veg-friendly businesses list here in the next couple of weeks. That's an ongoing project, so I'll make sure and let everybody know about that when it's ready. But we're working on it. And I am really excited about your journey once you became vegan. What made you create the Bizerkeley Vegan Food Blog? Because that's been a really great source of inspiration for people who are new to veganism and people who have been doing it for a long time.
Every time I hear that, I'm like, wow, really? That's awesome. So I actually started this page. This is the same page I've had since 2016. I started it before I went fully vegan. I went to this place called Soul Groove. I don't think they're in operation anymore in San Francisco. They were on Polk Street near Civic Center. And so I went there and I was like, oh my goodness, they have vegan chicken and waffles. What? It was amazing. And so that was like my very first post on the Bizerkeley Vegan Instagram page, and I really became vegan and stayed vegan, like how you said earlier, with these vegan icons, these local vegan superstars who were just crushing it and would give me advice or give me tips and tricks. So it's like I had so many mentors in this vegan journey of mine that helped me stick to it. And so like my initial, I guess my Instagram page was a way of holding myself accountable to my veganism, like keep posting, keep sharing, like what did you buy at grocery outlet? What did you buy at Trader Joe's, or what did you buy, so on and so forth. And so that was kind of like what I was trying to do, is keep posting and build a community of people who would also share their vegan tips and tricks with me. And it really just has grown from there. I'm so excited with everything that's been going on since 2016 and where I'm at today. It's one of my many jobs that I'm juggling, but it's a total passion of mine. So I'm always excited to log into Instagram and say, oh, what's new to eat? Who's opening a restaurant? Who knows this? Who knows that? It's really a community online that's happening 24/7.
It is really interesting to see this explosion of vegan food bloggers, Instagrammers, folks on Facebook, people using like these newer technologies to spread the vegan message. And I really think that it's not only helping young people and people who are new to the vegan lifestyle. I think it's helping those of us who have been around and in the movement for a long time. It helps us find new inspiration, because sometimes you don't even know about a new meat substitute or a new cheese substitute or a new restaurant or a restaurant you maybe knew about, but now they're offering vegan options. It's so exciting. It really is.
Yes, I'm excited every day and log on to Instagram because I never know what's going to be on there next. And I really think that restaurants and just mainstream the food industry in general is like, this vegan thing is here, it's real, and it's not going anywhere. And I get excited. Like I went to my parents' house the other day and I was like, I opened the fridge and there was vegan coffee creamer and they had 3 different types of, non-dairy milks. And I was just like, yay, it's working, it's working. My mom loves finding a new vegan cheese substitute because she loves cheese. So she's like in love with the the Daya Havarti, jalapeno Havarti block. She loves that one.
That was a good sell for my mom too in the beginning. She was like, oh yeah. And because Daya is, I know that some people throw a lot of shade at Daya, but it is one of those very accessible and easy to find cheese alternatives that's available in a lot of grocery stores, even in small town Arizona where my mom is. So it's really important to, it's not about being 100% pure all the time, and it's not about being 100% healthy. It's about choosing healthier options. It's about having those other options available for folks.
Yeah, for me, I really am proud of the way that the vegan options at Target has really expanded. I think I went to the one here in Berkeley on University Ave, and they had Miyoko's and they had Kite Hill, and they just had all these different brands. And I was just really excited about that. And even, Grocery Outlet was my staple when I first went vegan to get, the pricier stuff at a discount. I got to try so many different yogurts, so many different, different things like that. And ice creams. Grocery Outlet is like a secret haven for vegan ice cream and all those frozen Morningstar Farms and Gardein products that you may have trouble finding at Target. Grocery Outlet might have a bunch of them.
That's so true. And they're so much less expensive than anywhere else. It's really amazing how many options you can find out there. I noticed that that a lot of the bigger groups and in social media and standard media in general, a lot of people have been speaking about the explosion of veganism in communities of color. And I just wanted to check in with you and see what your thoughts are on that.
I think that when we think about communities of color and plant-based eating, I'll say that for right now, plant-based eating is that, they are definitely indigenous diets to lots of folks of color. That's why I love getting my nopales tacos, like tacos made with cactus, the best. And I think a lot of cultural staples, beans and rice and things like that, season the way that their culture seasons it, and just the explosion of flavors that other cultures have. Like one of my favorite African-based foods is Ethiopian food, because they have so many, options that are just vegan, just plant-based. And so I really like breaking down, as a Black vegan, I really like breaking down the stigma that I'm eating rabbit food. That's the standing running joke that I get every Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving and every holiday season. Is that, oh, what rabbit food did you bring this year, Eric? And I'm like, I'm about to knock your socks off with this rabbit food. I'll tell you what, I dive into it. I go headfirst into the jokes. I'm here for all of it, because this is a part of so many people of color, our indigenous diets already. So for me, it's definitely like kind of going back to my roots. Like we talk about hunters and gatherers, like I'm getting back to my gatherer roots.
I love the Decolonize Your Diet movement and groups that are spearheading that, like our friends at Food Empowerment Project. It's so important.
Yeah, Food Empowerment Project is doing an amazing job. I'm so also proud to work for them, and I'm organizing the Vallejo Healthy Food Festival for the second time this year. And we really do focus on getting healthy food to low-income communities and folks who don't have access to healthy foods. Vallejo, which is my hometown, lived there my entire life. we've had so many grocery stores close. Like we had a Food for Less close that had a huge open 24 hours a day, organic section with organic fruits and vegetables and bulk items. And when they closed, it was such a hit to my North Vallejo community, because it was like, where else am I going to get organic kale at 1 o'clock in the morning? Sometimes you need organic kale after midnight. It happens sometimes.
That's so true. That is so true. And now to kind of steer the conversation in a more serious direction, following the massive protests that started with the killing of George Floyd and then Breonna Taylor, and there's just so many, and it's been so devastating. And I was really struck by something that you did, a form of activism that I was just really, really amazed by, and it was so inspirational to me, as you know, as a leader of an organization in the community, is that you asked people who organizations, vegan companies, to come out in support of Black Lives Matter. And I would love to talk to you about that journey.
Yeah. For me, it's really interesting. Titles and labels aren't my thing. So for me, activism it's who my mom is, so it's who I am. I've always done things that if I see a problem, I want to help fix it. One of the other issues that's really close to me is homelessness, the crisis that we have here in the Bay Area. That's really important to me. I mean, we often undermine the influence. We are all influencers. We influence our friends, our families. We influence the people who come onto our social media pages. And so to ignore the fact that we all have the ability to create an impact, we're undervaluing and undermining the strength and numbers that we have. So if everyone asks Trader Joe's to do more, they will do more.
Especially if that message is coming from their customers.
Yeah, I often think about the bus boycott over 60 years ago and how we have to use our economic power. I can't remember what day of Kwanzaa it is, but you know, economics is a huge part of our communities, because when we look at the vegan community, our buying power has transformed an entire food industry that we have mainstream options. We can't deny our buying power as consumers. And the vegan community, definitely, there were some animal rights organizations as well who were just like, you know, we're a single subject organization and we're going to stick to animal rights, and we don't have any, you know, buy-in or any input on human rights. And that was also really disappointing as well. So yeah, it's been a very interesting time in terms of who to support. I've, like, ever since Memorial Day weekend, I will scroll back all the way to May and June to see where a company stands before I hit the follow button. And for companies that I've been like really excited about, I think the Marin County Vegan posted this really cool new bakery, and I was like, and I messaged them, I was like, hey, you haven't posted anything and I don't feel comfortable shopping with you because of that. You know, I've gotten into like conversations with dozens of companies about how they want to do the right thing. They were afraid to post because they thought they were going to get that backlash that I was afraid of. And some folks just didn't post on Instagram or their websites at all, but they were going to the protests. They were doing silent donations, if you will. So it's just been I've had to learn the 3 tenets that I came up with, where we all have a responsibility. We all have to hold ourselves accountable and each other accountable. And I believe in redemption, because just because you did the wrong thing in May and June doesn't mean you're incapable of doing the right thing today, tomorrow, and, you know, thereafter.
I just love that you took it upon yourself to take this action and really directly work with different organizations and businesses. Like, let's open up a dialogue here. Let's talk about this, because I do think that you're right. I did hear from a lot of other organizations that were just overwhelmed and didn't want to do the right thing. And it was, they do want to do the right thing, but they didn't know how. And
Yes.
and that's why I was just so impressed by this ongoing form of activism that you have. And I did see that you're going to be posting, or may have just recently posted, a follow-up video.
I did. I have been planning this follow-up video for months, and I screwed up and I posted it with other pictures on Instagram. So it cut the 5.5-minute video down to 1 minute. So what I'm going to do is tonight I'm going to repost the full 5-minute video, and I'm going to include, originally I had planned this skit where I was like the principal. And so like there were certain companies who were on detention and certain companies who had made the honor roll. And when I had made my first original follow-up video, I realized I was being punitive. I was shaming. I was just so angry that I wanted, to throw these detention companies under the bus, if you will, because I was just so angry. I was like, wow, you really think that you can either pander or not care and still get my money? I was really upset. I'm still upset to this day because these injustices are still happening today. Like Breonna Taylor still doesn't have justice. And so I decided that, like you had just said, like opening a dialogue, asking them to change and do the right thing is more important than like getting my anger and frustrations out on these companies. And so what I would ask is that anyone who sees the post to, go to those Instagram pages and politely ask the companies like, hey, I don't feel comfortable shopping with you because you haven't made a statement or because of X, Y, and Z. I really think there's so much power in our numbers.
That is such a good form of activism that each and every one of us can help with. It's not something that's going to put you in danger of, being exposed to COVID. It's something that you can do from your home at your own computer. It takes 5 minutes. I strongly encourage everybody to do this. It's really, really important. And thank you for leading the charge on that, Erika, because it's really important. I think that a lot of us who are vegans consider being veganism, like being part of the vegan lifestyle, part of the vegan movement, concerned not only for our personal health and, the environment and the well-being of animals. A huge part of that for me personally, and I think for a lot of vegans, is social justice, is doing the right thing for other humans. And I think that this is a great example of how you can merge those forms of activism in a very effective way.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just can't wait to see us really come together. We've already changed the food industry, and now we can change social justice and human rights as well, because we're human animals too, and we all deserve, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
I totally 100% agree. So I definitely encourage everybody to go to the Bizerkeleyvegan.com, check out Erika's website, check out her social media pages. There are a lot of great ideas on how to get active in your community on various levels. But this is one that really was so important and timely to discuss. And I really appreciate that you did that. And thank you so much for kind of breaking it down for us and giving us more of an insider look as to your methodology and what made you decide what to do and when. I think that's really a good lesson for all of us, actually, on how to like restructure your approach. If you feel like one direction isn't working, how can you better reach people? Tina asked earlier in the chat about how do you encourage vegan restaurants that don't have anything for vegans? How do you open up a dialogue about getting those vegan options into those places that don't have any?
Definitely. I think when you're perusing places to go eat, calling ahead and asking, like, do you have any vegan options? Oh, you don't? Are there any options that can be made vegan? Because I know a lot of Asian restaurants that I have been to will say like, oh, we can substitute out the egg, or we, oftentimes when I'm ordering Thai food, I have them take out the egg. And, even saying that if you have an allergy, because I mean, most of us or some of us definitely have an extreme reaction when we eat something that's not vegan. I know I do. My tummy will know I had something not vegan before I will. And so I definitely think just advocating over the phone and definitely using social media. You can comment on their social media pages and tell your friends like, hey, let's all, ask them, DM them, comment on their posts. Wow, it would be great if you had a vegan option. I would love to come and bring my family here. You just have to continue to be vocal. And once, they get the message that a vegan option is needed, they'll see the shift because it's happening before our very eyes with mainstream food industry.
Exactly. We have to be the people who create the change we want to see in the world. I mean, it's just that MLK quote is still very poignant today. We have to take actions to create the changes that we want to see in the world, and they can be something as easy as just asking politely to include some vegan options on a menu. It's amazing how much just a polite request and how far that can get you. I'm going to go ahead and open it up more in case people haven't already guessed. We're in the Q&A portion of the evening. So if you have any questions for Erika, please go ahead and put them in the chat. And I'm going to scroll up with some earlier questions that we got. Oh, here's a good one. Do you think that it's enough that people just make a statement about supporting Black Lives Matter? Or do you think it's important that companies and individuals do a little more than that? For example, going to a protest or speaking up in another way?
Yeah, so two companies that I'm really proud to have worked with were Timeless Coffee here in Oakland, as well as Dr. Hops, the brewing company that makes the hard kombucha. And so I, worked kind of intimately with them to talk about what should our next steps be. And my mom even created a list of 20 things that you can do to support, human rights and Black Lives Matter. And so for me, I think when you know how they have those signs on the freeway that says adopt a freeway or adopt a street? You can adopt as a business. You can adopt a organization like Black Girls Code. You can, donate to schools and inner city school districts that don't have access to the best supplies. You can offer your time and energy, whether, there's so many different ways to undo the inequities that we all experience. Because of our different, we all have privilege in some ways, and we all have and face injustices or isms, racism, sexism, all those different things. And so for companies, I definitely do think a donation is putting your money where your mouth is. I definitely think that changing your policies within your company is a great way. In my post that I'm going to share, there were a couple of Instagram pages that I found that were I think the makeup industry had this call to action where it said, hey, Sephora, hey, so-and-so, I want you to post, what does your employee breakdown look like? And it was amazing to see how many companies had no Black employees whatsoever. There was no diversity within their companies. And so that call to action is really real. And even for brick and mortars, just changing your store policies. So many folks don't feel comfortable shopping at places because they're worried they'll be followed or accused. And so I think undoing our biases, which is one thing that the education system is working on right now, undoing all these biases that we have towards Black and brown children, is really important. And there's so much literature out there for us to really educate ourselves versus, relying on people to tell us what to do.
That is so true. And I really definitely encourage people to take it upon themselves to educate themselves. There are so many important books out there. There are so many important movies out there. Do yourself a favor, set some time aside and do some of the research yourself, educate yourself, and then share your knowledge with your friends, with your family. Open up those uncomfortable dialogues, have those conversations. I know I've been having a lot of conversations with my friends and family that I wasn't expecting to have. This movement has brought to light exactly how uncomfortable people are speaking about these topics, and it's really important that we have these conversations. So I really appreciate anybody trying to have those kind of dialogues, whether it's in a personal way or whether it is taking on organizations and companies, because this is important. This is just like veganism. We are at a tipping point right now that we can all just make it right over that hump. It just feels like we're so close. And if we all take some time in our lives to do the work, I think we can all contribute to a better society. And especially as vegans, because we're already out there making the world a better place in this aspect. So why not expand that circle of compassion?
Totally.
Let's see. Trying to see. Oh, we do have one other one, and this is important because this was something I was going to ask as well. Where can people find information about the Vallejo Food Festival, and how is that going to be done in the time of COVID?
Yes, absolutely. So when everything happened, we decided to follow suit and make it an online festival. So it is going to be a 3-day online event from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., 3 consecutive Saturdays in late September and early October. And we are using local talent, local chefs. We're just keeping it really Vallejo. And I think that every year we have non-Vallejoans come to the food festival. And so everyone's welcome across the whole world to come to this online food festival. And I'm really excited because this year our cooking demos are going to be online and recorded so you can watch them again. And for me, it's like eating things that I grew up with. So making Filipino chicken adobo, but vegan, is going to be so amazing watching that cooking demo. We have the Veg Hub's Chef Chu, who makes his Better Chu products in Vallejo. He produces his products in the Vallejo community. He's gonna come on and teach us how to make vegan soul food, which is always a hit at the Vallejo Healthy Food Festival. And so folks can follow Food Empowerment Project and follow me, Bizerkeley Vegan, on Instagram, where there will be more information as well as on the Food Empowerment Project's website. And signups for that will be happening very, very soon, since it's starting next month.
And we'll make sure and share those details on our social media as well, because we love you and we love Food Empowerment Project, and Chef Chu is truly amazing. He's been involved with this food festival since day one, hasn't he?
Yes, he has been a superstar chef of ours, and we're just so excited to have him back every year. He usually caters the entire thing, which is a great way for people to try vegan food for the first time in Vallejo. He makes the most amazing mac and cheese and greens. And Chef Evangelina, the first year I went, she made this amazing vegan vanilla cake with frosting. It was so good. It's really sad that we're not going to be able to eat together this year, but we're having cultural performance as well. And Dr. Melissa Mandala will be speaking on vegan health. We have a vegan doctor in the house. What's better than that?
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. And then right immediately, almost after the end of the Vallejo Food Festival, is going to be World Vegfest online. So if you folks haven't heard yet, we're also doing our festival online. It's going to be a 4-day event, October 9th through 12th. It's going to be live on Zoom, similar to this format. This, again, was my very first try at this, so it'll be a little more polished by then. But it will be in this format, and just like what we're doing today, we'll be recording it and putting it on our social media. We'll be sending the lineup out soon so everybody can find out who's speaking when. And if it does conflict with your schedule, fear not, we will be posting those videos so that everybody can see the presentations and explore the various things that we'll be doing. We'll be doing some sanctuary tours. We're going to be doing some cooking demos. We're going to be having some really exciting speakers. We even have a few exercise sessions planned because, you know, we don't want people getting too hunched over watching their computer all day. There will be breaks. So everybody will have time to go and snack and things between presentations. So just want to make sure everybody has that on their calendars. So with the last few minutes that we have remaining, if whoever wants to turn on their video and mic and say hello, please feel free. We're here to say hello. And I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Hi, Melinda. Melinda is our membership coordinator and our board secretary for San Francisco Veg Society. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi. I can't really get the picture right. I wanted to thank this young woman, Erika Hazel. I was so impressed with you. You just seem really intelligent, really motivated. You're doing things that really make things happen, and you knocked my socks off. I was thought you were really together, and inspirational for everybody here.
Thank you so much.
And luckily, I'm on vacation this week, so although I live by Ocean Beach in San Francisco, I'll go to Berkeley and try out some places from your website.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. Yeah, could I say something?
You speak just really well.
Yeah, because I just wanted to say the same thing that Bonnie said. I'm looking forward to getting my bingo grid, but you know, I want to be sure, please, that you've seen this, what I wrote in the chat about Justin Phillips, because I really think you could reach him in a way I haven't succeeded in doing. And because you're Black and he's Black and he writes a column that's Black oriented, and also he is a food person. I mean, he writes for the San Francisco Chronicle's food section. And he also has a new podcast. So I hope that you really could make contact with him. And I gave you his email address in the chat. So that's the main thing that I wanted to say, that I just think you're such a good speaker, and you're so, you know, I just think it would be a really good thing for you to do that. And I also wanted to say one other thing about food and how delicious vegan food can be. I wrote a letter to the editor that got published because someone said something about comfort food during the pandemic, that they had to have comfort food and it had to have meat. And so I suggested that actually some comfort food could be vegan, but it could be plant-based, because I was trying to appeal to appetite, not just to, you know, social justice and animal welfare and so forth and so on.
I've been working on Bernard for 10 years.
But people still have the idea. You could change, you're changing that idea, thank you, that vegan food isn't delicious. You know, like, it's good to get the message across that it can be, and often is. Thank you.
That's a great idea, Tina, about contacting Justin Phillips at the San Francisco Chronicle, because he does cover the local food scene, and he might be really interested in covering the Bizerkeley Food Festival. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, we have so many great vendors in San Francisco. It'd be a shame not to.
That's so true, and it's a great opportunity not only to, you know, support local businesses, but support our movement.
Yeah.
It's so great to see all of your lovely faces. I am so appreciative of everybody taking time out of their night to join us. And I want to thank our the SFVS board, who's been working through these new changes with us. And we have a lot of new things to do this year that we've never done before. So this is an exciting new adventure for all of us. And stay tuned. It's gonna be interesting. We have a couple more of these pre-World Vegfest events that we're going to be doing. I'll be sending out information about those. And then, of course, the main event is our World Vegfest happening October 9th through 12th. So please mark your calendars for that.
Thank you, Erika.
Sorry I couldn't see you.
Thank you, Christy.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.